Alright, it's time for the sessions for the analyze box plots assignment. So in this first section, you need to first get the 5 main statistics, the 5 number summary for each of these data sets. And you have the min, which for this guy is this lowest number here, 345. You need to have the max. I'm going to put that over here. And that's the biggest number of the data set, which is going to be right there. These data sets are already in order for you, just so you know, which is awfully convenient. The median is going to be the middle number. Well, if you kind of count it off from both sides, you'll find that your median's halfway between these two, which means you're going to have to go halfway between them. Halfway between 356 and 360 is 358. And once you have that, you can get your quartiles. Quartile 1 is the median of this left half here, which is 350. And then quartile 3 is the median of the right half there, which is 375. Okay, so there's that one for the left one. For this right one, the min is going to be 343. The max is going to be 402. And the median, just like the previous one, is going to be halfway between these middle numbers. Halfway between 386 and 392 is, see if you add those up, you get 8, okay, so we're looking at 389, actually, so 3 for 9, yep, okay. And we also need to get our quartiles, so quartile 1 is going to be the median of this half, which is going to be 370, and then quartile 3, the median of this half, which is 395. So now we got our 5 number summary for both. I'm going to do the Middletown first. Middletown. It's going to be this first one. And you draw a vertical line above each of these. This is 345, and then one at the first quartile, one at the median. That's going to be 358, and this is 350. And the next one's at 375, which is going to be right here, 375, and then the last one is at 405, which is right here. And actually, I shouldn't have this number up here. I should bring it down here. Anyway, so now we have that. We can draw a lovely box plot. We got a box going like this, with the whiskers coming out. And there's our first one. And then getting the box plot for the next one, we have one at 343. The next one's at 370, which is right here. Whoops, off a little bit. 370. The next one is at 389. And then the next one is at 395. And the last one's at 402. Which is right there. And now we have our 5 numbers laid out. We can draw a little box plot, which is going to look like this. And this is called Snowboard Central. Middletown snowboards. Okay. So now we have our lovely box plots, and we can answer questions about them. And this is going to bring us to the next one. What's the median price for a snowboard at Middletown? Well, that's right here, 358. What's the lowest price you could pay for a snowboard at Snowboard Central? That's the lowest number, which is 343. Sheesh. 343. Most expensive at Middletown, that's right here, 405. And what's the range prices for Snowboard Central? Well, you just take the largest number, you subtract the smallest number. The largest one is 402. The smallest one is 343. And when you do that subtraction, I'm going to use a calculator real quick, because I don't know that in my head. I guess I could figure out. But anyway, you get 59. What price represents the 75th percentile for Middletown snowboards? Well, that's the 3rd quartile. and that's $375. And then, which store would you rather buy a snowboard from? I think I'd much rather have it from Middletown. And you can really choose which one. You just have to have some sort of justification for having those. I think I do Middletown because I'm kind of a cheap kind of person, and I don't buy the highest quality of stuff, and so most of their snowboards are in the $350 to $375 range. But if you're the type of person who would buy higher quality, and who's to say that these are necessarily higher or lower quality, but usually when you spend more on things, you have higher quality, and so maybe you would buy a snowboard from this one up here. And so there you go. You can put whatever reason. Make sure you have some sort of reason down. Okay, that brings us to the next section where we have these 3 black spots above this distribution here: the annual income for musicians, police officers, and nuclear engineers. And based off the box and whiskers, which one is true? So we have 4 options. Which of the statements are true? See, median income for nuclear engineers is greater than the income of all musicians. Well, that's not true, because some of the musicians have an income up here, so that one's out. The median income for officers and musicians is the same. Hey, that's true. And all nuclear engineers earn more than all officers. Well, that's not true. You have some low and some higher there, so there's some overlap. That one's out. And then a musician will eventually earn more than a police officer. Well, how are you supposed to know that from a box plot? That one is kind of a question mark. I'd probably say that's not true, just based off the information. So we're looking at B. That brings us to number 10. Which of the 3 professionals has the most variability, and how do you know? So variability is talking about how much the numbers vary. So like the more spread out, the more the numbers vary. So that'd be the musician. Okay. And how do you know has the highest range? Highest, sheesh, handwriting's atrocious. Has the highest range and the highest interquartile range, IQR. Okay, and then let's see, number 11. Which of the 3 professions is the mean salary closest to the median salary, and how do you know? Oh, that's a fun question. So if you look at the data for these, the lower half is close together, and then the upper half's more spread out. And what that's going to do is it's going to pull the median away from the mean, and it's going to shift it that way. And with the musician, that happens too. It's going to shift it up, because the people that earn more money, there's more of them earning more, and it's going to shift it to the right. But if you look at this one, the police officer, the amount above the median is closer to the amount below. So that'd be the police officer. And how do you know? Well, just that stuff that I said. The amount above the median, so I'll put those down. Above median is about the same as below the median, but you should actually use like real words for that. Number 12, if you're looking for the most reliable salary consistent, which profession would you choose and why? So we're looking for the one with the least amount of variability, which again would be police officer. Okay, and the reason why is has less variability. and that'd be corresponding with less range and IQ or interquartile range. And that brings us to 13. Both musician and nuclear engineer have a high salary. They can have a high salary. If your goal is a high salary, which would you choose based off the box plots and why? Well, it's true that the musician can earn more. This is a much wider range of values. So if your goal is to earn more money, you don't want to like take a gamble with it necessarily, and so you'd want the nuclear engineer. And you just have a higher likelihood of a high salary. With the musician, it's not as likely. Which career would you choose? Whichever you choose, give your personal reasons in conjunction with the box plot data. So I think on this one, you just kind of choose what you want. So I'm gonna, you just put whatever you want. Like, you choose, man. You just have to include some reasons, like if you want to say nuclear engineer because you like engineering, you like science, and you like messing with a very dangerous materials, you can be a nuclear engineer, and it actually pays well. Much less variability and higher up than the musician. Maybe you love being a musician, you don't mind getting a little bit of money, and maybe you will get a lot of money in that work. Or maybe you like being a police officer, which is more consistent work, and you enjoy serving the public in different ways. Yeah, you get that. And I'm going to start the video there.